Right now at 7.
We want them sent on a one-way ticket to prison right now.
Breaking news 3 days later, and investigators finally release a comment on the CHP shooting of a stolen car suspect in Oakland.
Plus, large crowds of protesters gathering in Berkeley right now. We're there live ahead of a big decision for the city council.
When I saw Black Lives Matter get painted in D.C., I thought, oh, we got to do it in Berkeley. I mean, we're Berkeley.
Right now on the KPIX 5 News at 7, streaming on CBSN Bay Area. In the last 30 minutes, we heard from investigators on the shooting of a suspect in Oakland. Good evening. I'm Ken Bastida.
And I'm Elizabeth Cook. Oakland police say CHP officers were in the East Oakland area on Saturday night investigating a shooting that happened on 580. That's when officers saw a Dodge Challenger driving recklessly and ran the license plate. Police say the plate did not match the vehicle. CHP officers pulled over the vehicle on Cherry Street near Elmhurst Middle School, where there is now a growing memorial. Now, according to a preliminary investigation, OPD says when CHP officers exited their vehicles, the driver of the Dodge began ramming their cars. 3 officers then opened fire, killing the driver, identified as 23-year-old Eric Salgado. His girlfriend in the passenger seat was also shot, and she is recovering and in stable condition. Oakland police say the Dodge Hellcat was reported stolen on June 3rd from a San Leandro dealership. It's one of the 74 vehicles stolen that night during a looting incident. Salgado's family and supporters are demanding that those officers be held accountable.
We want the names of the police officers, we want their personnel files, and we want them sent on a one-way ticket to prison right now.
Oakland police say no OPD personnel were involved in the incident, but they are the lead investigating agency since the incident did happen in Oakland. Earlier this evening, a vigil to honor Black lives lost to police violence was held in Oakland. Chopper 5 was over the group gathered outside the Green Lining Institute on 14th Street. They had speakers and held a moment of silence.
Now at 7, Chopper 5 giving us this look over a large protest in Berkeley. Hundreds marching down the city streets right now, carrying signs, chanting, playing music. We're told that students from Berkeley High organized this event, which passed by the campus and ended at Civic Center Park. In the past week, we have seen Black Lives Matter murals appearing in cities all across the country, and tonight, Berkeley will be deciding where to put one of its own. KPIX 5's Andrea Borba live in Berkeley with that story tonight. Hi, Andrea.
Hi, Ken. The protest still going on behind me in front of Berkeley High School right now. The crowd is chanting, of course, for Black Lives Matter. And that is one of the topics that the City Council here in Berkeley is taking up via Zoom meeting right now as we speak. They are talking about police reforms, and they're also talking about a mural. The city of Berkeley has already barred its police officers from using chokeholds, but tonight is considering more of the 8 can't wait reforms for its officers.
And I think we're all united in making sure that we're serving our community in an equitable manner.
In addition to tackling systemic reforms against racism and police brutality, the City Council will also decide where to put a permanent Black Lives Matter mural like those already painted in Washington, D.C. and Oakland.
You know, this is a very small symbolic placemaking step, and it certainly only complements the hard work that we need to do to really usher in systemic change in our community. But it's a small step that I think a lot of people are really excited about.
These are among the renderings that the Berkeley City Council will be considering for a permanent Black Lives Matter mural in downtown. Architect Yes Duffy helped paint Oakland's mural and put together a template for other cities to use.
So I did a quick layout, all dimensioned, and that's actually not just for Berkeley, but it's for anyone in the nation or the world to use it as a mural.
2 options for the mural are Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in front of Berkeley PD or Milvia Street in front of City Hall.
I think that's going to be amazing. I would prefer it to be right here because I go to Berkeley High, and seeing that, we need that unity, and have that right there is just going to symbolize a lot of unity, hope, and maybe even some push that we need in the future to get through what's going on right now.
Now, at this point, it seems to be not a question of if, but when and where this mural will be located. Duffy says as soon as City Council chooses a location, he is willing to come out this weekend and put paint on the ground. Live in Berkeley tonight, Andrea Borba, KPIX 5.
Tonight, the San Jose City Council will discuss several aspects of police reform after weeks of clashes between officers and demonstrators. Tonight, the San Jose City Council will discuss expanding police auditor powers, as well as barring applicants with misconduct on their records, and laying out specific guidelines for use of force, including non-lethal means like flashbangs, tear gas, and batons. KPIX5's Devin Feely sat down one-on-one with the police chief.
It didn't take a tragedy in Minneapolis for this police department to move forward.
But the protest sparked by that tragedy revealed cracks, fissures, and deep fault lines between the San Jose Police Department and the community it serves. Old, simmering grievances and questions about excessive force and misconduct forced to the surface by the in-your-face, chaotic clashes between police and protesters 2 weeks ago.
Does that mean that in the face of chaos that we didn't make mistakes? Absolutely not. Of course we did. Are there things that we're not proud of? Of course there are. We're human beings and we made mistakes.
San Jose Mayor Sam Liccardo has outlined a series of reforms of crowd control methods focused on limiting the use of tear gas, flashbang devices, batons, and rubber bullets on protesters. The city council is considering an outright ban on rubber bullets, describing them as a, quote, very imprecise tool with a high probability of inaccuracy.
I think that the fact that so many people got hurt by these projectiles and they were innocent protesters needs to be looked in further.
Chief Garcia says he supports these reforms as well as changes to the department's hiring practices, joining a pledge not to hire officers who've been fired or left other departments because of misconduct.
This police department doesn't hire police officers that come with a history of gross misconduct. But we're going to take a stand with other police departments.
Chief Garcia sat beside the head of the San Jose Police Officers Association during the interview, a bit of stagecraft underscoring the importance of that relationship to any reform effort.
The representation for our people will be there, but if an officer did wrong, then I support discipline.
But to say that you can just ram policies down the throats of officers without having their buy-in is not realistic, and it's not going to work.
Devin Feely, KPIX 5.
Outside San Jose City Hall, a large group of protesters are calling on the city to defund the police department while also creating a memorial to George Floyd. Many people could be seen dropping off flowers and messages on the steps near photos of Floyd. San Jose Mayor Sam Liccardo is among those in the city pushing for reforms instead.
Governor Newsom met with Black community leaders and some business owners in Oakland today. They gathered at Miss Ollie's, a restaurant downtown, and discussed the current Black Lives Matter movement and recent protests. The governor said that he is not in favor of eliminating police departments, but he is focused on reform.
This is an opportunity to discuss the current roles and responsibility that law enforcement in specific terms has in relationship to public safety and begin to unpack the opportunity to look at public safety more holistically and begin to focus on a social service, a health mindset as opposed to a command and control mindset.
Still to come, the debate over whether movie theaters should reopen in just a matter of days.
Also outraged tonight over comments from President Trump about a protester pushed down by police.
How reckless, how irresponsible, how mean, how cruel. He should apologize for that tweet.
We have seen an uptick, a small uptick in the number of hospitalizations in the county.
But could the ongoing protests increase the risk for another possible surge in coronavirus cases?
And the close call just a little while ago in the South Bay, the fire that burned dangerously close to a school and some homes.
Temperatures are cooling off around the bay. Just a spectacular look towards the Golden Gate right now as the sun is dipping lower in the western sky. We've got hotter temperatures in store for inland portions of the Bay Area Wednesday. Details coming up in the forecast.
And don't miss tonight's CBS News special, Justice for All. Gail King speaks to the mother of 23-year-old Amadou Diallo, who was shot and killed by 4 New York City police officers. Diallo's mother says George Floyd's death is bringing back haunting memories of her son's death.
At the end of his life, he is calling out for his mama.
And every mother heard him. We hear him.
We did hear him.
We heard George Floyd. We hear him. As the mother of Amadou Diallo, having to suffer my loss on February 4th, 1999, my wound was open again.
Justice for All airs tonight at 10 o'clock right here on KPIX 5, and we'll be right back.